As a university student, you are now a member of the academic community. Being a part of this community means that you are expected to adhere to the principles of academic integrity. The opinion of an academic can carry a lot of weight in society, and it is therefore important that you take this responsibility seriously and develop your academic practice. Academic dishonesty can have serious consequences for both your studies and your professional career. Furthermore, it can harm the academic community at large. So what is academic integrity? Academic integrity is a commitment to uphold good study and research practices and to adhere to shared academic values. This commitment ensures that one's work is original, it is presented in the voice of the author, and any outside contributions to one's work are properly attributed. When it comes to academic dishonesty, some examples are easier to identify than others. Cheating is often easily recognizable as unethical academic behavior. This can include copying the answers on an exam from someone else or obtaining the answers of an exam. Most people will also agree that asking or even paying someone to write your essay would be considered cheating. But what about facilitating cheating? For example, by actively making your answers visible to someone else during an exam. Even if you are not the one cheating, helping someone cheat is also seen as academic dishonesty. Is using AI for your assignment considered dishonest? The answer to this question isn't easily answered, but generally speaking, you are expected to produce original work. This means that you have created a product designed, researched, structured, written, and edited by yourself. You may therefore not use AI tools such as ChatGPT or the premium version of Grammarly to generate arguments, generate an essay structure, or the entire text of an essay, to summarize literature, or paraphrase or rewrite existing text. Even though using AI might seem harmless, you aren't copying text from another human, right? You are still passing off work that is not created by yourself as your own. As an aside, it isn't correct that AI is entirely non-human. AI is based on data sets created with human involvement, meaning that some of the generated text might actually be a copyright violation. However, going into detail on this matter moves beyond the scope of this video. What if you attribute an AI tool to relevant sections of your assignment? Unless specifically instructed otherwise, even crediting AI tools is not acceptable academic practice, since most assignments are aimed at training your skills in reasoning, formulating, analysis, etc. This leads to the final form of academic dishonesty that needs to be addressed: plagiarism. When doing research, writing papers, or giving presentations, you make legitimate use of a wide range of sources produced by others. You use these sources to build upon existing ideas and to substantiate your own ideas. In using other people's work, it is important that you separate their ideas from your own and that you give credit to those who contributed to your knowledge and work. If you neglect to do so, this is considered plagiarism. It should not be surprising that plagiarism is an offense that is not taken lightly by the university. So let's take a look at what plagiarism is and how you can avoid it. There isn't a universal definition of plagiarism, but it is generally defined as using someone else's ideas, words, images, or inventions and presenting them as your own, or not properly acknowledging someone else's work. It doesn't matter whether the material is published, unpublished, printed, or digital. Even passing off someone else's work with permission of the actual author can be considered plagiarism. Why does it matter? Passing off someone else's work as your own is poor scholarly practice, and it demonstrates that you have not understood what academic scholarship is about. Your own work could not have been possible without the efforts of others. Acknowledging others' contributions is not only common courtesy, but it also is a part of scholarly research itself, identifying what knowledge has been produced, when, where, and by whom. Plagiarism is unethical because it is a form of theft from which the plagiarist unjustly benefits by falsely claiming to have attained a certain level of knowledge and skill. You can see how this also relates to using AI. Finally, it undermines the value of your academic degree. The diploma that the university issues upon graduation is considered evidence of the degree holder's abilities and knowledge. If someone has gained their degree without having earned it, this can devalue the institution and the degrees it issues. Furthermore, the person who has obtained a degree dishonestly could be a danger to others, for example physicians or engineers. Plagiarism can be intentional, reckless, or even unintentional. In nearly all cases, plagiarism will lead to disciplinary measures. What those measures are depends on the severity of the offence. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with the university's policies on plagiarism. You can find more information on Leiden University's website. Let's have a look at some common forms of plagiarism. Direct or verbatim plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is a word-for-word transcription of someone else's text without proper attribution. It is a direct quote of someone else's work, which should be identified as such through the use of quotation marks or indentation. The reader must always be able to distinguish your words from those of others. Merging sections from various sources. Although this creates a new text to some extent, the words are not from the author and are often improperly cited too. Related to this form of plagiarism is anthology plagiarism or aggregation plagiarism. Here, someone has properly attributed direct quotations from others, but there is so much quoted text that there is hardly any original writing. This severely diminishes the value of the paper written, as the author's voice is completely lost. At university, you learn to form your own opinions and develop your own voice. Your thoughts and ideas might not always be original, but they are always expected to be independent. Merely reproducing the words of others without any form of assimilation or analysis ignores a fundamental part of the learning process of an academic education. Inappropriate paraphrasing. Inappropriate paraphrasing occurs mostly in two forms. The first form involves replacing merely a few words or phrases while maintaining the main structure of the original text. This also includes closely following the structure of someone else's argument. The second form involves not attributing the ideas paraphrased, thus falsely implying that the ideas are from the author rather than someone else. False citation. False citation includes embellishing the bibliography with sources that haven't been cited in the paper, citing non-existing sources, misrepresenting information from a source, or fabricating primary data. Collusion. Collusion is the unauthorized collaboration with others or not properly attributing any significant assistance that you have received, such as translation work. Although you needn't explicitly acknowledge assistance in simple proofreading or assistance you have received from your instructor, when someone else's help has substantially influenced the creation of your work, their role must be attributed accordingly. Self-plagiarism. Recycling your own words without proper attribution is considered self-plagiarism. It is generally not allowed to submit your previous work or parts of your previous work in a new assignment. This includes work that has been submitted or published outside of the current program at which you are enrolled. Perhaps you have noticed scholars citing their own work in books and papers. So why are you not allowed to do this as a student? When a scholar cites their own work in a book or a paper, they are referring back to previously established research. The assignments that you must submit for your courses are a part of assessing your achievement in acquiring knowledge and skills, and generally fall outside of the scope of scholarly debates in the academic community. They are an academic exercise. Therefore, each assignment should be completely original. Of course, there are a few exceptions to this. For example, when you are asked to submit an assignment that is part of a larger project, such as an introduction to your paper or a literature review. Your instructor will usually specify whether reusing your work is acceptable. When in doubt, always ask. Now that you know what plagiarism is, how can you avoid it? Cite your sources. That is a given. Inform yourself through the feedback you receive from your instructors. Read up on good research and citing practices in manuals such as the Chicago Manual of Style. Follow workshops or tutorials offered by Leiden's University Library, the Academic Language Center, or study associations. According to the king of internet aphorisms, Mokokoma Mokonoana, plagiarism is the fear of a blank page. This is often prompted by intellectual insecurity, poor time management, or a combination of the two. Intellectual insecurity, as the term suggests, is when someone isn't confident about their knowledge and skills. How do you assimilate the ideas of others into your own ideas? How do you develop your own arguments? It is easier to copy someone else's ideas rather than coming up with your own. Intellectual insecurity is common and probably affects most students to some degree. When you are just starting out, it is understandable that you feel less confident in expressing your own ideas or looking critically at others' work. You are still building your knowledge and training a new set of skills. However, such insecurity becomes problematic when it paralyzes your ability to find your own voice. A contributing factor to intellectual insecurity could be when other skills such as note-taking, writing, or research skills remain underdeveloped. In many cases, students end up plagiarizing because they run out of time. When you feel the clock ticking, using someone else's words becomes an attractive option. Give yourself enough time to work on an assignment so that you can do adequate research, carefully consider your words, and revise your work properly. Assignments are often announced well in advance, so make sure to use that time properly. Although intentional cheating does occur, most plagiarism by students is reckless or unintentional. Students might not see the harm of a little unattributed borrowing here and there. Avoiding plagiarism is a matter of learning and exercising good scholarly practices. This includes learning the practical skill of citing, but it also is about understanding the ethos of academic scholarship. As novelist George Augustus Moore once said, plagiarism is taking something from one man and making it worse. Avoiding plagiarism will make your work the best that it can be.